I was travelling back in the plane from Brussels.
I was in the stadium. I was commentating for ITV.
We were in New York
In
with the Spice Girls in a bar watching it.
It's difficult to describe, really. It all happened so quickly.
The captain announced that England were in extra time.
The challenge came in. He went down. He flicked his leg out in a retaliation, if you like, and just a get off me type thing. It wasn't really a nasty thing. It wasn't a violent thing. He was never going to hurt the lad. And the lad's reaction, it's not the reaction you would expect from a professional football player, but that's what happens nowadays. And the referee, you just knew he was going to send him off. I knew he was going to send him off.
I don't think we realised exactly what was happening. He kicked this guy and was sent off, and we were thinking, oh, that didn't seem fair.
I didn't realise how serious it was, what he'd actually done. And to this day, not that I know a lot about football, I think that there was a lot more to blame than David.
I didn't think it was enough to get sent off for. I just think it was a reaction, not a good one, but a reaction to something. There was no malice in it. It wasn't going to break anyone's leg or anything like that.
Everybody in the plane went like that, looked round at me. They all like that, looked round at me, I was sitting like that. Not motionless, not saying, not showing a crack at all,
On the pitch, just put my arm around him, said, I don't know what you say. And wouldn't say unlucky, just basically, it's happened. Put my arm around him, he walks off into the top. He'll probably be more lonely in the dressing room. It's a lonely feeling. That walk off a pitch feels like, it might only be 30 yards, but it feels like 30 miles.
When he came in after the Argentina game, yes, we were all sad, but I think some people were obviously what he'd done, and he was more sadder than anybody, and he just needed some comfort and some love.
I don't think anybody was prepared for what happened after that.
It wasn't until, I think, the next day that we realised just what the repercussions were going to be.
And I says, you get the blazes out of the country. Just get whatever you're going to get now.
He'd gone to see Victoria in America for a couple of weeks.
You won't believe after things that went on.
The Sun newspaper hanged him outside a pub, put a sarong on a dummy and a headscarf, and they hanged him outside a pub.
We had a phone tapped.
The Mirror had a pull-out dartboard with David's head in the middle.
We were followed to the airport.
He was the most hated man in Britain.
Everybody just thought it was so unjust at the time.
Now, these things happen in football. This wasn't something that was new. People make mistakes on football pitches, and luckily for David at that time it was his turn to suffer in that match.
It's not a crime to make a mistake, it's a crime not to learn from it. And I think where David's been really special in that is he's learned from that.
Yeah, I do think about it at times. I think about what could have happened if it hadn't have happened, or what might have happened. But it's something that I've come to terms with. I think it is hard work, because obviously you don't play with them, week in and week out like you do when you're with your club side. So coming away with England, you have to sort of learn a lot of things about the people you're playing with in a short space of time. And it is hard work, but Kevin Keegan and the rest of the staff have got the players together in such a close sort of just the way the players are all together. I think it's brought us all together, and the atmosphere between every one of us is great. I think that's the most important thing, and that's what he's worked on, and he's got it right. He's got it right. I think we've got the ability, and we always believe that we can beat the best. So it's not hard, because Man United, we do win most things, and the way we play together is different from playing with any other team. But you come away with England, and the thing is that we actually believe that we can win things.
Show us around your room.
Bed, big bed. Bed board under it, somewhere. Yeah, there.
So you always have that put in?
I always have a bed board because I wake up, I've got a stiff back if not. I go and get my chair because it will annoy me until I actually get it in tonight. So I told you I wasn't winding you up. It has to be straight, see. And someone's moved them bottles of water and glasses. I'm a proper weirdo when it comes to tidy things.
Go on.
I put, you see all these leaflets that are out? That's how tidy I am. You know all them leaflets that are really annoying things all over the hotel rooms? I make sure that they're all put away. And Gary Neville slaughtered me the other day because I turned around and said that everything's... I walk into his room all the time and he's a right mess most of the time. He tries to convince himself he's not, but compared to me he is. Well, compared to me probably a lot of people are, but I won't rest until I've actually hung all my stuff up, put all my toiletries away, put my DVD in a place where it looks good. And I can't have it turned like that. I have to have it with all the wires out the way, like that. So it's perfect. I know it's weird, and
you sound faintly embarrassed by this obsession with this.
I think Victoria takes a mick out of me all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Like if there's 7 cans of Pepsi in my fridge, and if there's 7 cans of Pepsi in my fridge, for argument's sake, I'll take one out or throw one away, so there's 6, and they're, you know, not odd. Because I have 6 cans of Pepsi, 6 cans of 7-Up, 6 cans of Dr Pepper, and if there's 1 can extra, I'll put it in another cupboard. That's why I'm a proper weirdo. Honestly, people watching this are going to think, you idiot.
Beckham's cross, Scholes! It's there!
Right, so let's talk about the first game, the England game against Portugal.
David Beckham on the ball, Scholes is in there again, it's McManaman, it's 2-0!
We was off to a flyer really, but I think as a team and as me personally, we never felt comfortable because they was going through us too easily, the Portuguese.
His performance against Portugal got lost. It was a tremendous individual performance within the framework of a team that got beat 3-2, so it got lost. You know, had we won 3-2, we'd been talking about one of the great performances. I mean, he was instrumental in everything good that we did that day.
Right, one of probably the biggest games that I've played for England in my whole career, probably, the England-Germany game.
Beckham's free kick, in towards Michael Owen, it's come for Shearer!
We were celebrating after the game because it was a good victory for us and England and the fans, and but you know, we knew that it wasn't all over. We had this next game to come, and we knew all we had to do was get a draw. But if we slipped up, we'd be in trouble.
I think we didn't perform as a team at all. But I think he's still got to take some credit out of it, and I see him moving on. I don't see the team moving on particularly at the moment, but I see him moving on as a player, and that can only be good for English football.